Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 16th day of January. Let me move that over a little bit. 2020. I'm getting a bit of a glare. I was going to have some tea. I started this once, but I don't know. I got tongue-tied, so I'm starting over again. Looks like my phone was ringing. My husband got it. A number I do not recognize, so it must be something that's a sales call or a campaign call. I'm really not liking that. It was much better when your cell phone didn't ring. Remember, there was a long time where that didn't happen, where your cell phone did not ring, and then all of a sudden, let's get the hair even here. All of a sudden, you started getting sales calls on your cell phone. I don't like that at all. Anyhow, not a whole lot has changed in the astrology from yesterday, although, let's see, there was a couple of things. Moon is still in the 7th house and Libra, but there's a quincunx with Neptune. It's talking about escaping, and so I would do that with your partner. The sun is also conjunct 11th house now in Capricorn, so there's going to involve some relationships, but conjunct series, life may take a spiritual focus, so you could combine the two and maybe escape to a yoga class or just to go out in nature and take a spirit walk or something, together with a partner. But other than that, there's really nothing exciting going on that wasn't already going on yesterday, and a lot of it's ended, so a lot of the aspects have waned a bit, and so what was strong has now moved into, weak, and so not so much of an influence, so we're not going to worry so much about that. I had a chance to explore some of the Genius Bloggers Toolkit we've been talking about, and it's really good. I recommend it, so click the link below and get it today. You only have one more day. It's $97, but it's $97 well spent for almost $7,400 worth of products. And I've already begun doing some of the courses, and I have to tell you, the folks that put them together are doing a great job, and they're well done. They're informative. You can go back and look at this stuff. You can download the whole thing that has the ebooks and whatnot that you can get, and all of the printables. So you've got that at your fingertips for later. But honestly, I was really surprised, and when I got it, I was so pleased, when I bought it. And again, I spent yesterday looking at it, and I've done a couple of the courses already, and I feel like I've been able to expand some things, with my blog, particularly with respect to Instagram, that I wasn't doing before. So just in doing that one thing, I did some different things to the Instagram account and made it better. So I don't know. I'm going to take a little bit different approach and start doing more over there, because I don't post there. And so, I'm going to start doing more of that now that I have more of a strategy on how to do that. So in any event, look for that. That link will be below the video as well to the Instagram account. So anyhow, because they do little videos over there now, so that's going to be fun. So anyhow, check that out as well. And again, the link is going to only be active for today, and that's it, and then it's done. So you don't have much time left to get it. So don't waste any further time. If you haven't already bought it, go get it. And if you click through my link, then I'll earn a little bit of commission off of the sale. So thank you so much for that in advance. That's why I'm doing all of this, is to expand my reach a little bit and to maybe grow a little bit of monetization with my blog. I've never done that before, really. I've been an Amazon affiliate for several years and never really done anything with it. And other than some links within posts. And now I'm doing more with that, but I've also got other companies. So check out the affiliates tab on my blog there, and it's all in order now. I don't have just a big long list that you have to scroll through. They're in categories now. I did that last night too, so it makes it a little bit easier to look at. And so check that out and see what you think. So anyhow, since nothing's really going on in the stars, let's go ahead and get started with the reading today. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'm still a little under the weather, so hopefully my voice will do better today than it did yesterday. I'm so sorry about all the coughing. Oh, but I'm getting better, so it may not sound like it, but I am. So anyway, what we're going to do first, if you haven't been here before, I'm going to take the first 3 cards. I take the 13th one each time for randomness sake. And then after we're done with that, we'll either decide then if we need a 4th card. If we don't, then we'll move right on into taking a rune, an Elder Futhark rune from the rune bag, and see how that ties in with everything. And then we'll finish out with we'll create a geomancy rune. And that usually is either something that is the underlying essence of what's going on in the reading, or it could be an outlier that we might need to be just paying attention to. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll take our first 3 cards. Well, we have Judgment, 20th card of the Major Arcana, a soul archetype card. We'll see if it ends up being our focal point. Never really cared for the name Judgment. I also don't spell it with an E. That's what we're kind of supposed to avoid doing, is judging, isn't it? The thing about it, there's other decks, more non-traditional ones, that call it Eon or Rebirth. Druidcraft calls it Rebirth, I believe, and Crowley in the Thoth Tarot, and also Heindel in that deck. In his deck, I believe they both call it Eon. Well, here we have the 10 of Swords. So we've gone as far as we could go there, haven't we? So we can either look at that as a 10 or as a 1, but you're looking at new beginnings with that. So almost like Judgment is clearing out the clutter, and we're moving into something new, as we can go no further with that. With the 10, kind of darkest before the dawn. Let's do the last card and see where it goes. Well, we have the 8 of Wands, so swift movement. Yeah, things are changing. And they are, out in the collective society and everything. Especially after, if you watched last night's Rachel Maddow show. Oh, boy. Those people were up to some no good, you know that? And I don't even want to think about what could have happened to that ambassador. That's just nutty. Well, I think I'm going to leave Judgment in the center, and I think that I will, at least for now. Let's start with Judgment. Here we have Angel Gabriel blowing his horn. People are rising up out of their coffins to hear the word of God, to hear their judgment. Everything's in alignment. The cross is not religious in nature. The cross is indicative of vertical and horizontal balance, if you want to call it that. Vertical is the as above, so below axis that we focus in on. All right, so you've got spirit, and you've got form or matter, or the body, whatever you want to call the bottom part of it. And then on the horizontal plane, it's once we get here, we have to figure out a way how to balance all of it. You can also look at it in terms of, since it is above the line is actually above the body, where the body is at the bottom. If you want to, in other words, where the termination of that energy is, you've got the cross. So down here at the bottom, this line is actually, you could think of it as the abyss. Also, you could think of it as before you come into form, what choice are you going to make? The fool, when he takes the leap, I say he, it's not really a he, it's androgynous, it's not any gender. They're taking the leap below the abyss into form, into making the choice of who are you going to be? Are you going to be a man or a woman? Are you going to, You know, what's your whole nature going to be like? Are you going to be service to self, service to others? You really do make a sort of a dichotomous choice when you do all of this. And so what you're basically wanting to do, hopefully, is to come right into the middle of that, where spirit is informing all of that process. In other words, you don't want to live down here. You want to live here. You want to live in the balance of the choice that you're making, and you're wanting spirit to inform that. So in a sense, it kind of looks like the rune all yeast, doesn't it? Sort of with, instead of the arms being out here, they're flattened. So think that. But realistically, we function down here. When ego controls us, we need to be functioning here. So if you like to think in terms of patterns and charts and things like that, like I do, but then I'm a Libra, but I'm also an empath, so go figure. Water is very strong in my chart. Even though I'm as much of a Libran as they come. I'm thinking we might need a fourth card here. But if we don't think in terms of, I guess I should put that down too soon, didn't I? We've got the 20 energy, so we've got a 2, and that's balance. And you can see that through the cross there and through the discussion on that, that really that's the type of balance we need to strike. You know, yeah, we're here in form, but we need to be spirit in form, not or spirit informed. But we don't need to be informed by the ego. If we're functioning down at the bottom of the cross, then that's not good enough, right? And that's kind of where a lot of us find ourselves these days. I think we're functioning too much down there at the bottom of that cross instead of understanding the greater picture that's involved here. So we're coming into a bigger level of balance. You know, this is a 22 year, this is a 20 card. So we're balancing polarity, aren't we? We're coming into some kind of cosmic builder year where something is going to manifest differently. Now, theoretically, with judgment, the idea is that you figure out what happened and how and what you need to do to go forward. And so there's a certain level of self-awareness that happens in the whole judgment phase of things. But if we think of this in terms of a new direction, okay, either what happened, you know, and I think that what we're looking at with the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Wands, and we can do this either way. Let's start with the 8 first. Let's start with the 8 first. A lot of things happened. Swift movement of a leadership nature. A lot of big information was coming in. A lot of energy was happening. A lot of change. A lot of momentum. This is actually the energy behind the awareness. That happened yesterday, and there has been a lot of energy with more things that we're talking about was happening collectively to us, society-wise, within the government and the impeachment. Lots of things were building, right? And now yesterday it all got transmitted, and now the next phase of the process has begun. But I think that they're finding that they can go no further, that they've pretty much done themselves in. This is actually a very positive card. It's darkest before the dawn. But you see a man dead on the ground, 10 swords stabbing him in the back. So either we're ready, and we talked about this yesterday, about being ready to let go of beliefs and that whole paradigm that's not working, and that we need to move forward in shared purpose together. We actually need another card, don't we, to see what this is all about. But clearly we've had to, you know, yesterday and today, and it's been happening the last couple of weeks, really, where we've been sort of coming together into a new awareness and maybe developing a new paradigm that we're going to take our chances with, you know, that maybe this last one just, we got caught up and that's fine and everything, but something doesn't feel right now, and we're not Maybe we're just ready to let it go. Maybe it was fun for a while, but that energy is just, too much. And now today with the 8, we're really moving forward in that, I think. A lot of swift action over things today. Most of it's a balanced force as well. There's one that's lagging behind a little bit here with the 8. But with the 8, you're talking leadership. You're talking about a greater awareness of the bigger picture involved when you're making decisions. It's not simply about yourself now. It's a greater level of harmony. That whole swift action, So it's for the greater good that we let go of attitudes and beliefs that do not serve us, that are getting in the way of unity and shared purpose. Even just an alignment within, when you're so focused in one direction in terms of a cause, sometimes you get so caught up that you can't really see the fallacy that might be brewing or building or existing within it. And so you just keep going, and you miss the road signs, the little caution signs along the way that were there. You just didn't see them because you're caught up in what you were doing, which is fine to a point, but sometimes it takes you in a place that's just not healthy. Well, the Hermit. Ninth card of the Major Arcana. Another soul archetype card like Judgment. Only here this is about endings. So we've got balance with Judgment and endings. You see the staff is nearly straight up and down. He's got the Merkaba is lighting his lantern there. He's high up on the mountaintop, taking some time out. Reflection, basically. He's bringing light to the world and awareness to the world. So again, what was it that caused the Ten of Swords? It's new awareness, new information. And the information has just been so much that we can no longer go in the direction we were going. Something has to change. And we have to shift our perceptions in a different direction now. That we've been kind of caught up in some things that really don't serve us, and they're not going to take us in the direction of truth. And now there's so much momentum toward letting all of that go. And we have Uruz, the second rune of the Elder Futhark, again a 2 energy, balance. But this is drizzle. I love that, don't you? It's the primal forming essence. It's the energy behind the forming itself. So this is source presence energy. This is creator energy. Again, it can represent the 22 year that we're experiencing now. There has to be a greater level of change. We have to manifest something different, or we're down the rabbit hole for good. We have to let go of things that no longer serve us. We have to allow those thoughts and those beliefs, that paradigm to float away. With this 7 energy today that we have, we can take that energy and come to the still point, observe it like the scales, be in the center point of it, allow the pans to settle out. Go within and become the hermit and understand what the greater truth is that we're supposed to be understanding here. Oh yeah. Okay, so the geomancy rune today is Vaya, or new direction. And this is what it looks like. And with Uruz, what is it that we're manifesting differently? Its opposite would be populous, and so you'd see 2 each instead of 1. It'd be 2 dots all the way down. And with that, we would be going along with the crowd or going along with the flow. So with that, if it had been that, then it might be, well, maybe there's some reluctance. to let go of that which no longer serves. But here, this is very active principle. Single dots in geomancy reflect an active principle. And so the direction is taken intentionally. So I think that's really, it's interesting that that they transmitted it all yesterday. And today we're going in a new direction now. I think that they are too, because I don't think that they quite understood the backlash that would happen if they wanted to just simply show up and say, hi, that's it, this is over, we're done, okay, with nothing, right? So I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see witnesses. I think this is going to take the time it's going to take. And I hope that they do the right thing here. If he is a clear and present danger to the country to remain in office, then he's going to have to go. If they can keep him corralled, well, why would you want a president you have to keep corralled? That means he's a danger to the country and has to go, But you'll watch as the machinations continue. And if this is something that's happening in your life, and it has nothing to do with, any sort of political situation going on, if you've just got some things going on in your life where, you've been trying to figure some things out and things haven't seemed right to you, a lot of the time it's because you get so stuck in that moment that you can't really see the truth of it. And so today, so I think what today is signaling, particularly with Vaya showing up, is that we really do need to take a new direction here, and benefit from some inner work. Today we had a little bit of escapism. We talked about, let's see, what was it? It was with the moon, and it was a quincunx with Neptune. But in terms of relationships, it could mean that you're ready to, step outside the norm of things. And so whatever your norm has been of late, step outside of it and go within and take another look at things. Look at it from a dispassionate view, that if you were to have that reflection, after you pass, the whole idea of judgment, of having the past life review, of where you kind of look and see, okay, what happened? What were my strengths? What were my weaknesses? What do I want to do now? That's all it is. It's a joyous occasion, to see, oh, okay, let's have a sit down and see what happened, But we have a chance this year with the 22 energy to start anew and to build something better together. But it takes change from within to do that. It doesn't simply happen. It's not, in other words, it's not another cause we're going to join. Okay? That's not what this is. With the master number of 22 for the year, we're building something new. Or maybe starting to rebuild what we lost. It's a foundational type of experience. If you add them together, you come up with 4, which you don't want to do because it's a master number. But if you did, it would be a 4, so we're talking structure, building, structure, right? But the structure of what? It's the structure of what humanity looks like together in its collective nature. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to healing that and to preserving that. And that's what this year is all about. So it's not with the judgment card that we're in trouble. It's just that we're here to realign. And to realign in our source presence and in our eternal truth of who we are and who we are to one another. Because it's not just who we are as source energy, but it's who we are collectively as source energy. And together we can go forward in a different direction. So there you go. We did it. Not bad for a Thursday. Take advantage of the Jupiter energy today to expand on all of this and figure out where you're going. Make sure it's a place that's it's guided by spirit and you can't go wrong. So in any event, I guess that's it. A short one today, or a shorter one today. Thanks so much for coming by. We're just in this transitional place now, aren't we? where the future is, while expected, something good's going to happen, it still may be a rocky road getting there. It might not be the simplest thing we've done to let go of things that no longer serve us, that we've been so caught up in, to understand the truth that has eluded us all this time, and that's been by design, that we've been kept in the dark purposefully to further the ends of an individual who shouldn't be there to begin with, who's too corrupt. I don't know. I don't know how someone like that can give up that in order to be president, because that's what you have to do. You have to give it all up. You don't come into office and then start threatening people to get what you want, which is to enrich in yourself. You're not allowed to do that. And unfortunately, he's conning people into believing that it's okay. Fortunately, the majority of us know that it's not. And the rest just need to let go of that which no longer serves and come into the light and see what's been happening. And then get angry. You've been lied to. That's not okay. None of it is. I guess that's the worst part of all. When you see people that work so hard in life to make their lives better, you know, that's the problem of politics. You know, you support a candidate that you think is going to make all that better for the country. I have no doubt that people supported him for that reason. They thought that's what was going to happen. Stick a businessman in there, he'll get it right. No, that didn't work out, because maybe a businessman might, but this one, no. This was never going to happen. And I've always even questioned even whether or not it actually did legally. So my gut feeling tells me no. My gut feeling tells me that in time, we're going to find out that the election itself was bogus. So, and then we're going to have to take a really hard look at that electoral college. I think you may, after that, see the end of it. That's what it feels like to me. So, in any event, this is a somber time, but it's also one of great promise, where we can let go of the isms and let go of the damage and let go of all of this stuff that is not based on truth, and get back to the business at hand of coming together in shared purpose and truly making this a better country and making it a better world. So anyway, if you're still healing like I am, maybe we'll all be well on Monday. Who knows? But if not, we should be on the mend. So take it easy this weekend if you're ill like me, and try to heal some more. And we'll come back together on Monday. Check out the blog. There'll be lots of things going up. And get your Genius Bloggers Toolkit, please. It's wonderful. I'm telling you, Ultimate Bundles is a great site. Next month, there's going to be a women's wellness bundle. There we go. We'll say it eventually. And so we'll be talking about that too, but amongst a bunch of other things. So we'll see you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.